नमस्कार सभी काश्तकार भाइयों को। आज का अपना जो कार्यक्रम है, इसमें हल्दी की फसल के बारे में, फसल की कटाई उपरांत क्या टेक्नोलॉजी है, उसके बारे में डॉक्टर ई जयश्री, जो प्रिंसिपल साइंटिस्ट है आईसीएआर के इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ स्पाइसेस रिसर्च कोझीकोडे में, वो मैडम यहाँ पर इस कार्यक्रम में मार्गदर्शन के लिए हाजिर हुई है। मैं तहे दिल से डॉक्टर जयश्री मैडम का स्वागत करता हूँ। उसके साथ में किसान की पूरी टीम और इस कार्यक्रम के आयोजन में जिन्होंने महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई, वो हमारे मित्र उद्यान श्री कुलकर्णी साहब, उनका भी मैं इस कार्यक्रम में स्वागत करता हूँ। साथ में हमारे जिले के स्वामी विवेकानंद सेवा ट्रस्ट के चेयरमैन श्री पुरुषोत्तम जी कुटे, वो भी इस कार्यक्रम में हिस्सा लेंगे, उनका भी मैं स्वागत करता हूँ। डॉक्टर जयश्री मैडम को बताने के लिए मैं शुरू में हिंगोली जिले में जो हल्दी की फसल है उसके बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी देना चाहूँगा। हिंगोली जिले में 5 तहसील हैं और करीब 711 विलेजेस हैं। इस पूरे जिले में करीब 50,000 हेक्टेयर क्षेत्र में हल्दी की फसल ली जा रही है। उसमें सेलम वैरायटी सबसे ज़्यादा है और आईएसएसआर प्रगति को हमने इंट्रोड्यूस करने की कोशिश की है। उसमें करीब 5 से 7% एरिया में आईएसएसआर प्रगति को भी हमने इंट्रोड्यूस किया है। आजकल जो हल्दी की फसल ली जा रही है, उसको फार्मर्स रॉ फॉर्म में ही सेल करते हैं। राइजोम्स ड्राई करने के बाद, प्रोसेसिंग करने के बाद स्टोरेज करते हैं और जब भी उनको अच्छा भाव मिले, वो अपना गोडाउन से निकाल के मार्केटिंग करते हैं। कुछ फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर कंपनियों ने खुद की खरीदी भी शुरू की है और बताने में आनंद होता है कि एक फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर कंपनी ने बांग्लादेश को करीब 1 करोड़ रुपए की हल्दी के राइजोम्स एक्सपोर्ट भी किए हैं। लेकिन इसमें अभी जो हम बात करते हैं कि फार्मर्स का इनकम डबल करने की, उसमें हम कोशिश करना चाहेंगे कि हल्दी को रॉ बेचने की जगह उसको फिनिश प्रोडक्ट के रूप में बेचने की हम सलाह काश्तकारों को देते हैं। लेकिन जो टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे यहाँ अवेलेबल है अभी, उसमें सिर्फ पाउडर बनाने की टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे पास अवेलेबल है। कुरकुमिन बनाने की कोशिश कुछ फार्मर्स ने की थी, लेकिन अभी उसमें कोई ज़्यादा सफलता दिखाई नहीं दी है। इसलिए हम चाहते हैं कि आईसीएआर का जो आईएसएसआर है, वहाँ से हम कनेक्ट होके जो भी लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी है, वो फार्मर्स को मिले। इसके लिए हमने इस कड़ी में आईएसएसआर के डायरेक्टर साहब को, ईपन साहब को भी बुलाया था और हर विषय के एक-एक साइंटिस्ट का वेबिनार हमने आयोजित किया है और अब लास्ट में हमने आपका वेबिनार इस कड़ी में आयोजित किया है। काश्तकार भाइयों को मैं जानकारी देना चाहूँगा डॉक्टर ई जयश्री मैडम के बारे में। वो प्रिंसिपल साइंटिस्ट है आईएसएसआर में और करीब 21 साल का उनके पास अनुभव है। शुरू में उन्होंने 1997 में पेडवेगी में नेशनल रिसर्च सेंटर फॉर ऑयल पाम में काम किया। उसके बाद 2003 से आईएसएसआर कोझीकोडे में वो स्थानांतरित हुई है। उन्होंने कृषि इंजीनियरिंग में मास्टर डिग्री और तमिलनाडु कृषि विश्वविद्यालय कोयम्बटूर से एग्रीकल्चर प्रोसेस इंजीनियरिंग में पीएचडी की है। कई परियोजनाओं में उन्होंने काम किया है। कर्नाटक में स्पाइस प्रोसेसिंग फैसिलिटी स्थापन करने में भी उनकी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका थी। साथ में स्पाइस प्रोसेसिंग फैसिलिटी स्टार्टअप उद्यमियों के लिए इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स के माध्यम से भी उन्होंने काफ़ी काम किया है। उनके 50 से ज़्यादा प्रकाशन हैं और 26 स्नातकोत्तर छात्रों को, एमटेक के छात्रों को उन्होंने मार्गदर्शन किया है। साथ ही बताने में हर्ष होता है कि उन्होंने मिशिगन स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी यूएसए और इंडोनेशियाई ऑयल पाम रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट जकार्ता जकार्ता में भी हाई लेवल ट्रेनिंग प्राप्त किया है और आईसीआर के इनोवेशन एंड रिसर्च अवार्ड फॉर फार्म इम्प्लीमेंट्स का अवार्ड उन्हें 2016 में मिला और आईसीआर का फखरुद्दीन अली अहमद अवार्ड ट्राइबल फार्मिंग के लिए 2019 में उन्हें मिला है। तो बहुत अनुभव के साथ आज के कार्यक्रम में डॉक्टर ई जयश्री शामिल हुई है। मैं उनका तहे दिल से हिंगोली जिले के सभी काश्तकार भाइयों की तरफ से और किसान की टीम और केवीके की तरफ से स्वागत करता हूं और मैडम को विनंती करता हूं कि आप जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी ISSR में है, जो हल्दी को राइजोम से आगे प्रोसेस करने के लिए क्या-क्या किया जा सकता है, विलेज लेवल पे, इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे और फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर कंपनी लेवल पे, और केवीके उसमें क्या कर सकता है। इस सोच के साथ आपका प्रेजेंटेशन करें। आप अंग्रेजी में बोले तब भी चलेगा, थोड़ा हिंदी बोले तो भी चलेगा, और काश्तकार भाइयों से मैं निवेदन करूँगा कि आप ध्यान से देखिए, जो नहीं समझा वो लास्ट में पूछिए, हम हिंदी में जवाब देने की कोशिश करेंगे, मराठी में भी जवाब देने की कोशिश करेंगे। और जो काश्तकार इस कार्यक्रम को अभी नहीं देख पा रहे, वो बाद में फेसबुक और यूट्यूब पे इसको बाद में भी देख सकेंगे, उन काश्तकार भाइयों तक भी ये जानकारी पहुँचाई। तो मैं यहाँ पे रुकता हूँ और मैडम को विनंती करता हूँ कि आप आपका प्रेजेंटेशन शुरू करें। मैडम जय
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shelke sir. Thank you, Dhyanshri sir.
श्री।
Namaskar सबके लिए. My Hindi is not that good, but I fully understand Hindi. Since it is a technical presentation, I feel comfortable when I speak in English. I am fully accessible to all your questions. I can spend enough time and
Okay.
clarify all your doubts. Since it is a technical presentation, the language in which I am comfortable, I feel if I tell in that language, you know, that flow will be better. But
No problem.
anytime if there is a problem, sir, you can stop me and you can ask the questions, because whatever knowledge we have gained from the field experience, we have been associated almost all the states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Then now, as you told, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad Award we have got for our value chain development in turmeric at Chintapalli region of Vishakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, because that is the turmeric, and we have a unique Chintapalli variety of turmeric there, and the traditional, it's a tribal belt, and in that tribal belt, it is a big group. We were all involved in that. From past 7-8 years, the traditional varieties we harvest in that region once in 2 years. This is just a background information, and how we introduce the variety Roma, Pragati, and then what are all the different raised bed cultivations, what we did there. And finally, it was my role was towards the end, the processing, how the material could be processed and then into a value added product. So all these put together, that helped us to win that Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad, which we received just 3-4 months last July. This 2020 we received. So this is the background, just about, because it is turmeric, I just told, otherwise that award is nothing great. But we were involved in the tribal region, and I can also share some of the experiences, what we learned. We learned a lot. And now coming back to, I'll give the basics of whatever we have at ISR, what technologies should be used for processing, and what is the first level of value addition we can do, primary processing. And from primary processing, we have to go to the secondary processing. And secondary processing, what are all the different things? And curcumin and other thing is a high-end processing. Let us not right now jump into curcumin, but then it can be thought of in another 2-3 years, once the primary processing and storage and other things are clearly understood by the people, and we have a setup infrastructural facilities for storage and handling the rhizomes in a safe way, then we can go for the next step. And coming back, so again, I thank our Shelke sir, Dayan Shri sir, and all our dear participants. It's not thanking right now; it is all welcome, and for coming online to listen to the little bit of experience what I have. I am happy to share. We are right now, like from the past 7-8 months, we are continuously almost online for many of the programs. Otherwise, we were physically present in all these places. We had to go. So we have conducted a lot of training program. We have delivered number of talks, and we are involved. So let us now go directly to the presentation. Shall I share, or how is that, ma'am?
Ma'am, please start screen sharing. You can hop there.
Okay.
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 Ma'am, please start screen sharing.
Okay. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it's visible. Do
Yeah.
the slideshow.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Shall I continue?
Yes, yes. Please continue.
Yeah. Am I audible to all the participants, ma'am? All
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
participants?
audible.
yes, you are audible.
Yes.
No problem.
Thank you.
Madam, go ahead, go ahead.
Yes. So this is what I would like to. So this picture is showing a picture, the front view of our institute, Indian Institute of Spices Research, which is situated at Calicut in Kerala. And Calicut, for the introduction of all our participants, it is known for our Vasco da Gama's visit, the first place where Vasco da Gama visited in 1496. So that is the landmark place. So this is the background. And from then on, though earlier a lot of trade and other activities from Dutch, Arabs, all were going on. But it is at Calicut where Vasco da Gama landed, and again the history of spice trade from Kerala is becoming more visible. Otherwise, also trade was continuing, and it was mainly for our spices grown in this region. Mainly, it was black pepper, then ginger, then turmeric, Alapi, and other regions known for turmeric cultivation. Alapi finger turmeric, it is of international importance for its quality and high curcumin content. It is very thin and long, it's not like our Salem or Erode varieties. It will be short and very bulky. This Alapi varieties are thin, long, and high curcumin varieties. So these are the differences from the appearance. Now, coming to the just background, like India is known as a home of spices, and in India, there are, if we see the total variety, total spices, their International Standards Organization have classified about 109 spices under its category, which can be called as spices. And out of this, 63 varieties of spices are grown in India. So this is the background information. And out of the 63, or among all the spices, black pepper is called as the king of spices, and cardamom is called as the queen of spices. And now we have a major category, like major spices. Major spices includes black pepper, cardamom, ginger, turmeric, and chilies. These are the 5 major spices which are classified as major spices. Other than that, we have many other like minor spices, seed spices, like what is grown, cumin, fennel, coriander, all these are called as seed spices. We do have a separate institute at Ajmer called as the National Research Center for Seed Spices. And apart from this, ISR, all these major spices other than chilies, we are concentrating. Then we have tree spices like nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, and garcinia. All these are the other spices which we are concentrating. And spices, we all know it is known for its not only for the culinary aspects, it is also mainly known for its medicinal, pharmaceutical importance. And it is in that category, turmeric is important. It contains an active ingredient called as curcumin. And right now, curcumin is of great importance, known internationally for curing many of our it is as a functional food and a nutraceuticals. Curcumin is gaining importance internationally. So that is why now, of late, if you see, because of all the present pandemic conditions, the importance of turmeric is going high. And we are also exporting, not though in case of turmeric, if you see, we can tell that no, out of the total turmeric grown, about 90% of the turmeric is consumed by within the country itself, and only 10% is going for export. And we're exporting to number of countries. This is a general export scenario. And in case of turmeric, general spices, we are also doing a lot of value addition, and value addition includes essential oil, oleoresins, then various other forms of paste, powders, then blends. All these are the value added products. So these are the categories in which, and in case of other spices, these are background information, as I told. Whole spices as such is exported. It can be powdered and exported. It can go as spice mixes in powder forms. Then certain spices like garlic, ginger, and other things, it can go very well as a paste. Then concentrates, oils, and oleoresins. These are the various forms of value-added products. And our turmeric also will fit into many of these categories. Slowly, I'll come one by one. And I've told, like, it is known for its nutraceutical importance, and the main active ingredient in that is curcumin and turmeric. So these are the curcumin is the one which gives the coloring pigment, and all the turmeric and other things give the flavor. That is a smell for that. So that is given by this turmeric and other things. These are the important compounds present in that. And many of our spices are known for its pharmaceutical or medicinal properties, and there are a number of informations and studies which shows that it is cancer preventive, antimicrobial. Especially our turmeric has all these properties: antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties. These are the important properties which are present in turmeric. This is a little bit old scenario. The present production details, I think each state, it is readily available in the Spices Board's website also. But among the important spices, turmeric is holding a very good share. Coming to the export also, turmeric, we export, like I told, we are consuming 90% of our production is consumed within the state itself, because in all our Indian preparation, turmeric is one of the essential ingredients. Without turmeric, we don't prepare most of our preparation, and that itself makes that all our food as nutraceutical, because the quantity what is required by the body is supplied in the preparations what we do. Now coming back, turmeric, the value added, I'll tell about processing. So this class on post-harvest handling will start at a stage when turmeric, after planting in the field, generally it is sown in the month of May last or June beginning, after the onset of monsoon. And then it is mainly all this cultivation practice. I'm not going in detail. We are using the raised bed system. And in Kerala, we take beds in the size of 3 meter by 1 meter. Broad beds we are taking. And we are making, like, in each bed, 40 plantets, that is 10 along the 4 and 10 along the 10 centimeter distance we are planting. And some of the important varieties, these are little bit old varieties: ISR, Sugana, Sudarshana, Suvarna. And after this, the next batch of release was Prabha, Pratibha. Pratibha is also a well-known variety of turmeric, which is cultivated across different states. And Pragati is recently introduced, maybe 2 years back. And now we have one more variety. Probably it is just released this year. It will be coming into the system very soon. This is our Pratibha, which was for the past several years, this was in the system. Many of them will be familiar with the ISR Pratibha variety, and now we have this ISR Pragati. And so this is the processing operation. This is a flow chart of the processing operation in brief. And you can see, after harvesting, the operations, what we do is we have to, it is a big clump. After harvesting, you get a big clump. The clumps have to be separated. The mother rhizomes, it is essential that the mother rhizomes are separated. The finger rhizomes are then removed and kept separately. Why we are doing this separation of mother and finger rhizomes? Because mother, you all know, it is a hard rhizome. So the next process, which involves cooking, we call it as curing or cooking or boiling. Anything means the same. So in this operation, we are doing the cooking operation. So at this time, what will happen is, if we mix all these materials together, it will not cook uniformly. So it is very much essential that we have to separate the mother rhizomes and finger rhizomes. So this is a view of harvesting, and harvesting is done when the leaves dry, and initially it shows yellowing and then it will start drying. And many of the places it is manually harvested in these region. Otherwise, nowadays, when tractor drawn beds are taken, then we can do harvesting also. Using tractor operated harvesters are available, turmeric harvesters are available, so that can be used, and we are doing the harvesting. Power tillers are also in small, if the land area is small, and if the beds are taken where power tiller can be operated, then in many of the places in Tamil Nadu, we can see that harvesting is done using a power tiller. So this is a field condition. When harvesting, it is ready for harvest. And in case of irrigation condition, then it is necessary that before harvesting, we have to stop the irrigation, and maybe after a month or so, the field become dry. Only then all the leaves and it will start drying. The symptoms of drying will start, and only then we can harvest. We do the harvesting. So this is a power tiller operated harvester. These are models which are available from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. These are also commercially fabricated. There are a number of fabricators, those who are doing the fabrication of all this additional attachments to power tiller. And we also have the tractor operated tractor attachment. These are attachments, a turmeric harvester to tractor, and this can also be used for harvesting. If the turmeric, or if these things are not available, then in those conditions you will have to go for manual harvesting. So, but I think now, most of the places, I have also visited some places in Jalgaon in Maharashtra, and where we had visited, maybe it was few years back, some 7 or 8 years back, and we have visited number of fields there. So in those regions of Maharashtra, we could find that most of the fields what we had visited, or like all bed preparation, harvesting, all were mechanical, and all these kinds of maybe there may be slight differences in the, but in general, these are the machines which are being used for bed preparation, harvesting, and it is all readily available. So this is a picture. This is a picture taken from our ISR farm. So maybe the conditions are slightly different in Maharashtra. But then I just wanted to show the use of the equipments. Broad bed former is being used for bed preparation. But in our region, because it is a high rainfall region, we don't take a continuous long beds. We cut at an interval of 3 meters, so that the rain waters, and moreover our lands are not very plain lands. It will have slight terrain. So in those conditions, for rainwater to easily go, we do the staggering. We give cuts to the like 1 feet cut in between along after every 3 meters we give a cut so that rainwater can easily flow, and across also we have a drainage channel so that water is carried out without disturbing the beds in the field. So these are the operations what is being done. You're planting it. I think all this they would have handled, or your system is also equally good. Planting, then mulching, and this is a stage when the field is ready for harvest. And in this field you can see that it is being manually harvested, and after that so in this picture we can see that the people, those who are they're collecting the harvested produce and they are shipping it to the place where it can be further processed. Like in case of turmeric, we do have a lot of operations of cleaning, and it is a very big clump, and all the operations of breaking it into primary rhizome, separating, removal of roots, all that will have to be done. So lot of labor requirement is required after harvesting, and generally it is a women labor who are employed for doing all these activities. You can see this picture where people are breaking all the clumps or rhizomes, separating the mother rhizomes, finger rhizomes, removing all the roots and other things what are present. And the next stage, you're taking it to. So after this, now this cannot be done in a short period of time. It may take some time. So during that time, no, after harvesting, you bring it to the shade, and it is essential that it is kept in a proper shade, and too much of piling we should not do, so that what happens is when we pile to bigger heights, there is no aeration for the rhizomes what is present, and we find that the rhizomes are getting rotten. So that should be avoided. These are all the field problems what we generally see. You have to collect all the materials what is harvested from the field, put it in a shade. It is properly there is a sufficient amount of shade, and too much of piling to a greater height can be avoided, so that what is inside are not getting rotten. It requires aeration and sufficient aeration. This is not a long storage. Even for a short storage, even for a weeks or 2 weeks time, it may take. Sometimes curing operations you may not be able to do immediately. When if you have a large quantity of material, it is also not possible to do in 2 or 3 days. You may have to keep for maybe 15 days or 30 days, maybe a month or 1.5 months. So at that time, you just generally take care of such things. And if you find that it is rotting, then a little bit of spreading is required. And here what we find is moisture loss is severe, and after harvest, the more we delay, the moisture loss is significant. These are all the common phenomena what we find. There is a very good moisture loss. All these are natural. So to prevent this moisture loss, we can, it's a natural, we cannot prevent to a higher extent, but then see to that it is kept under shade, and it is protected. So these are all the different, such kind of traditional boiling practices are available in all the regions. It is all region, the vessels are all region specific. So these are the vessels what I could find in Tamil Nadu. It is being used in Kerala. It is not a very big state which is cultivating turmeric, but in most of the households we do have turmeric here, and only in certain places we do it in a commercial space. But in case of Tamil Nadu, like Erode and other belt, we have extensive areas. The agriculture economy itself is from turmeric. So there we can find, these are all the practices. They use several kind of to enhance the color, different like lime. They dissolve in water, and they say that you're getting a better color. But all these practices in Tamil Nadu, we could also find, in certain regions, we can find that traditionally, now all that is not being followed, but all these practices we can find in many interior places when we go, that they add lime, then they add cow dung. So we always have a divine feeling for the cow dung, and tell that when it is added, it will kill many of the microorganism, or it is more the sanctity of cow dung we enhance until. But no, right now in the present condition, all this should be avoided, because once the importance to trade is given, then presence of all unwanted material in the rhizomes, dried rhizome, or all adulterants, or it is called as contaminants, and it will fetch a very low price. So the first and foremost thing what we have to do is, like, any additional materials, please do not use any additional materials. When you are going for curing, use only pure drinking water. Drinking water means it should be that neat and clean. That is what I meant by drinking water, which can be consumed. So use good quality water, and you can do boiling. So boiling, I show different vessels. So these are all traditional vessels. Absolutely, there is no problem when we use small vessels, and that again depends. But like a region like Hingoli, where turmeric is growing to a great extent, all the small vessels will not do. Then we may have to go for a bigger vessels. So the next handy vessels which we can popularize in many of the regions is such kind of boilers or boiling vessels for turmeric. And this model what I have shown is a TNAU developed model, and it is very handy, and the capacity of this is 100 kg per batch. One batch can hold about 100 kg at a time, and about 60 minutes of curing. So here curing, we are not adding full water. We add water only to about a height of 10 centimeter. See, this vessel is 1 feet. This vessel is 1 feet height, and it's more than 1 feet. The inside vessel, you can see inside vessel, it is a mesh type vessel, that is 1 feet. So the outer vessel will be nearly about 1.5 feet height, and inside that vessel, we about 10 to 15 centimeter, we are adding water. So you can see inside there will be a perforated vessel. It is a mesh vessel made of mesh. 4 such vessels are there that will have a standing leg of about 10 centimeter. So to that height, we fill water. And what we do is we cover it, and initially we are not adding turmeric into the boiler. These 4 inside inner vessels are brought out. We have to wash all our rhizomes thoroughly well, neatly, cleanly, so that mud and other things are not available. See, initially itself, I told no, when we are some 10 or 15 days, we have to remove all the roots and other things. All that has to be done. That is all field cleaning. After doing all the field level cleaning, then we are taking it for processing. So before processing, when you are loading into this machine, what you have to do is properly wash it. Why this washing is essential is, like, it is always with mud and other things. It will contaminate, or there are chances that some of this during cooking will penetrate. It's not mud that will penetrate. If there is any off odor, offense, or some other things which is penetrable may penetrate. So to avoid all that, we thoroughly wash, and after that we take the material and fill in this kind of, this is only a square, I think a small view of that vessel is here, perforated vessel. And in this, each vessel can contain about 25 to 30 kgs can be filled. And we fill the wash material. This picture shows 4 such vessels, and once the water is boiled, one you can see, this is the outer vessels. This vessel filling about 10 centimeter, 10 to 15 centimeter water, cover it with this lid, and then start boiling. So this is the vessel what we, the way how we are boiling it. And once we know there is a small opening at the top also. Once it is boiled, we can open, we can just on the top there is a small lid, we can see open that small lid, and once we feel that it is water, once we know that water is boiling, then this bigger lid can be, you can see this is open one, the bigger lid can be opened, and our washed turmeric in such small inner vessels, each containing about 25 to 30 kgs. 25 kgs we say, and but still we will have some place at the top. It is always easy, like for handling about you can give little space and other things. So 25 kgs minimum can be loaded into the vessel. So 4 such vessels, so 100 kg can be loaded. 20 to 4 loaded into this. Again, cover it with the lid and boil. And it is from then about 60 minutes of curing is required. Here, steam is generated and the steam is cooking the rhizomes. It is not in water directly we are immersing and cooking. It is the steam generated that is cooking the rhizomes. And one thing what we should know is, if cooking is sufficient, if sufficient cooking is given, your storage life of the material will be enhanced. And your drying, the next thing is drying will be faster, because many regions where we, when they cook for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and after that they put it in hot sun, and they say it is taking about 25 days or 30 days for drying. Generally, it doesn't take this long. That means your cooking means this kind of boiling is insufficient. So you give about 1 hour steaming, good steam. Some fire roots have to be used, and proper cooking if we do. Generally, in a very good sunshine, if it is available in the region, 10 to 12 days, the material will be properly dried. This is whole rhizomes. So in case of finger rhizomes, we cook it for about 60 minutes. 60, little more also, nothing will happen, but it is not necessary that cook it for whole day. Generally, we could find in many places, they cook for morning, they put it in boiling water, and then they take it in the evening or next day. All that they do, but generally it is 1 hour cooking for finger rhizomes, and if it is mother rhizomes, we cook it for 1.5 hours. Little more or little less no need, little more also nothing, 10 or 15 minutes, little more or nothing will happen, but generally I'm telling that is sufficient. And next, what we have to do is, in case of finger rhizomes, once you remove, actually we have to take some logs, put it along this handles. There are handles, put it in the handles, and then safely remove it out. 2 labors are required for removing this kind of vessels. Either sides they have to stand, and then they have to remove the vessel. And once it is cooled, then we have to spread it on a neat environment. Always we may not have a concrete floor. If possible, it is always better to have a concrete floor, but in many of the turmeric growing regions, where the quantity handled is so large that it is always not possible to have a concrete floor. In such cases, then many of the things, when people, what they do is they spread it in the field itself. So that because you have to dry it for about 12 days or 12 to 13 days, it goes on. So depending on your conditions, you dry it properly, and it is essential that we dry it to about 10 to 11% moisture content. So this is a safe moisture content, about 11%, 10 to 11%. And this again, people, they generally ask us, like, how do you know it is 10%? Just we cannot, we will not know that it is 10% unless we keep it in a moisture meter and find out that it is 10. But in the field condition, it is hardness. And before that, what I have to tell during cooking is the indication that it is cooked. So what you have to do is, I'm telling 60 minutes it has to be cooked. Now take a pointed, generally a stick or something which is very pointed. You can, I told there is a small lid at the top, and through that lid can be opened, and this pointed a broomstick or something can be penetrated, and we'll find that it will easily penetrate into it. And next thing is aroma, cooked aroma will start coming. So these are the indicators. And if we have a chance, you can remove one of the piece and then break it open. Once you break it open, now you can see that, no, you can see the a ring-like formation. So that, no, there will be a spread of color, uniform spread of color, which means that cooking is complete. Otherwise, you can see some small circles. But again, no, this variety wise, no, there will be some change. But otherwise, once you break open, you take a rhizome, just break it open, and you can see that, no, the entire rhizomes in the cross section, you can see a uniform. And there is a thread formation also, which means it is getting the starch inside, that is getting gelatinized. And that is the cooking, and a nice aroma of cooked rhizomes will come. So all this, I think you will be doing that in your place, but then these are our indicators to tell that cooking is complete. So it is generally 1 hour, I told. And if it is mother rhizomes, the bigger ones, then we have to cook for a longer time, 90 minutes or slightly more also you can do. And after that, after cooling, in case of mother rhizomes, you have to cut the rhizomes across. Cut it into 4 pieces vertically, and then cross-sectionally you cut and then dry it. Otherwise, mother rhizomes are such big that drying is. So in order to enhance the drying, we cut the rhizomes. Mother rhizomes alone. Finger rhizomes we need not cut, because you will lose the market acceptance. So finger rhizomes, there is no need to cut. It will dry otherwise. But mother rhizomes, you will have to cut and then dry it. So after cutting and drying, it may take again 10 to 12 days for complete drying. And by the time the drying is completed, once you break it down, it will be very hard. It is very difficult to break also. So these are the indicators. And at that time, towards the end of drying, once the turmeric is completely dried, it takes up the moisture content. That is very much important. The moisture content is about 10 to 11%. That is the safe moisture content at which turmeric can be stored. And apart from these are for in 1 day. Now I told in 1 hour you can do about 100 kg. That means in 1 day we can go up to 1 ton, 1000 kgs we can go. Some such kind of 4 or 5 vessels. If you have large quantities, then 4 or 5 such vessels can be used and it can be operated. But then the thing is, you require a lot of firewood. Now coming to the other large scale steamers and other things we do have, and these kind of boiling vessels, the capacity is 1 ton. Each vessel itself will have 1 ton. In this case, we should have a separate boiler. This is a separate boiler we have. In this boiler, we boil it. Water is boiled, steam generated. The steam is fed into such kind of vessels for cooking. So the price again varies for this to about 4 to 5 lakhs. And this kind of vessel right now it is 40,000 for its fabrication. All these are mild steel fabricated. And these are some of the, you can see here the picture, how the people are removing all the cooked rhizomes. So these are some of the farmer self-help groups, women operated groups. This is KVK Alleppey. Maybe 10 years back, this was probably in 2010 when these are the second stage. The first group had come to us in 2010. Again, we had given them the training and the knowledge of how this machine has to be operated, and then they had formed their groups. It was a panchayat. Finger Alleppey, I told Alleppey finger turmeric is very famous, so it is from that region. They wanted to promote the traditional variety, and the panchayat themselves had taken the initiative and they purchased the machines what is required for curing, that is curing of turmeric, and then we need polisher and then pulverizer. So the first primary processing, what are all the equipments the village wanted, the panchayat had taken the initiative. The panchayat themselves had trained some of the people in improvement in mechanization. This I'm telling what had happened in 2010 and what is the present situation. I will come. So we had given them the training and helped them in the purchase of all this equipment they had purchased. And number of women, they formed self-help groups, and women and KVK Alapi had played a very important role. I should appreciate their efforts taken in promotion of mechanization in turmeric. And they had trained, and they were the backbone for connecting the farmers with the organization like ours. For because once we start executing, no, you know, there are number of problems involved, whether it's purchase of machineries or operation, all that. No, so KVK Alapi was involved, and their subject matter specialists who were all involved in that continuously were monitoring, and they were also behind because the panchayat had taken the lead. So they also know, they also need some support of R&D organization. So KVK again were helping the panchayat to procure all the equipment. And these are this is a group, and this we can see, this is a way how it is handled. After 1 hour, how this group had been to ISR, and we had given them the demonstration of how it has to be handled. And this again, no, you can see in different parts. This again, it is at Tamil Nadu. How the people are doing right in the field itself. No, they there we can see in field itself. They do the curing, and then they take the for after drying all this. Because this cultural practices, we cannot tell you should not do that. This they'll have to follow their cultural practices. What is available. So here they spread it in the field itself and then dry it. So these are again, no, on-farm curing machines, large-scale steamers. All these are mainly all this we could have collected is from E-Road, and again we can see, no, places like Guntur in Andhra Pradesh, that is also a potential hub for turmeric cultivation. And many of the places we can see such kind of machines, large scale steamers being used. Cooking is a mandatory process. And this I'm coming to another part, because in the previous slide I showed that, no, large scale steamers are used, and such big steamers, when we use, we need a lot of firewood for cooking. So the drawback, so you can see the lot of smoke is released, and when for cooking also what they use is, no, all unwanted plastics, then tires, no, so all the vehicle tires are then, because to generate steam. So once all these are being used, we at ISR felt that, no, in order to improve the conditions, we have to do something. And even firewood, no, lot of firewood is being cut. And it was at that juncture, maybe in 2015 or so, we thought that, no, we have to have some technology for replacement of firewood. And the alternate was solar energy. And we have developed a prototype model for this curing of turmeric, and one such is shown here, the prototype model. So this is the principle under which this concentrated system works for turmeric curing. We have parabolas. Parabolas will concentrate, you know, when sunlight fall on this parabolas. These are reflecting type, no, and this will concentrate the sunlight onto the pipe, which is kept along the focus. So number of parabolas, about 16 parabolas are kept in this system, and your water circulation line goes along the focus of these parabolas. So this is a pictorial representation of how the piping is being done. And after that, when it comes to the point, there is we can see, no, when the temperature is so high that water, when it's circulated, it is getting converted into steam. Steam will move through the pipes, and it comes to a point where the steam will rise up, and then we give, like, no, the pressure has to be built up to get the temperature. So we give time for that. And once we know all these, we have the automatic controls. The complete system is on an automatic basis, electronic circuit we have. And once we feel that the sufficient pressure, there are indicators for all that. Sufficient pressure is built up, then we release, and we can see that the steam generated through this system, we give it to the tank where turmeric is cooked. So this is our setup what we have at IAS. So this is a prototype model, but this has to be commercialized for large scale application. And of course, some of the industries and other things already such, but nobody is using it for turmeric curing. But otherwise, no, for a lot of other application, this principle is being used for cooking and curing. So we have exploited it for our turmeric curing, and this steam generated can be multipurpose. Any other operation where steam is required throughout the year, it can be diverted also. This is a separator. If at all there is any water in this, the water will flow down, because steam will rise up because of its nature. It will rise up, and only what is super saturated steam will come here, and it will be allowed to enter into this cooking vessel. The water, if it is still in the water form, the steam, it will be in a mixture form. No, it will not be fully vapor or fully water. Such kind of steam again will be separated, and again it will move through the system. And by the time it completes, no, it is moved. It and the second round again rises. This continues, and throughout the day, if we are installing it in a place where we have sufficient sunlight intensity, then such kind of system will help in curing turmeric without, we no need firewood at all, but just there will be some sensor and a motor operated for that we may require a little bit of electricity. So that is only additional energy we require. Otherwise it is completely functioning under renewable solar energy. And we know that sunshine also moves, when the sun moves from east to west, and the direction of this concentrators have to be moved. This is a GPS enabled system, and it is automatically tracking the sunshine movement. And we can see how it is moving from the eastern side. It towards the noon it is becoming horizontal, and then by evening it moves on to the western side. So this is a system fully tracked, automatically tracking the solar energy to utilize it to the maximum extent. So this is the system, how the steam generate, how it is. So earlier picture I told you, we have to break open, and you can see how the cooking is uniform. Otherwise, if it is not uniform, we can see here in circles, different regions, cooked region, uncooked region, color difference. There will be a gradation in color, all that we can see. But once the cooking is almost uniform, then the color will be uniform. Here we can see there is no, throughout the segment, it is of uniform color. So these are all indexes to be watched for processing. And then it can be put in the open yard, and drying is completed in about 10 to 12 days. Again, all that depends upon the weather conditions. And so these are technical specifications. I think this is not required. Your maximum temperature 175 degrees, because only at that temperature it is in the steam form, and about the pressure of steam is required so that the valve can be opened for sending that steam to the cooking vessel. So these are some of the additional features. The fuel saving is about 70% in this. It is fully automatic. But only thing is the initial investment is that is for a matter. The solar based devices are costly. Initial investment is costly. But then throughout the further operations will be cheaper. There will be no requirement of energy, or energy in the form fuel, in the form of firewood or other things. Even labor requirement will be comparatively lesser, but initial investment is very high. So this is after curing, the next operation is drying. So based on the availability, of space, we will write. And this is the place, again, people are using their field itself, because always we cannot tell we need a drying yard which is cemented. It may not be possible because these are all the regions, erode regions, it's completely turmeric only is grown. So there we cannot tell the entire place should be cemented and all. It's not practically possible. So they use their own fields for drying. And after that, these are all, it's another one. If this is solar tunnel dryer, this is again, the limitation, it is very good. It is very good for drying. But the limitation is, we cannot cover the entire region with solar tunnel dryer, and limitation of the capacity. That is the capacity. Though this dryer is about 12 meters long and 4 meters, this is good for the secondary processing, or when we cut turmeric. There is a practice of slicing turmeric. So in such cases, the sliced turmeric, when we dry, we cannot go for open drying, because it has to be protected. There we don't go for the next operation. Directly we go for prouting. So it has to be well protected. In case when we are going for slicing, then we have a mechanical slicer. It can be sliced mechanically, and the sliced turmeric should be put in such kind of protected environment for drying. So it has to be covered, because the dust or other impurities from man, animal, and other things do not fall onto the sliced pieces. So it is a must that it has to be enclosed and dried. If mechanical dryer is there, okay. If there is no mechanical dryer, then we have to go for such kind of protected drying once the material is sliced. Otherwise, if it is rhizome form, then open drying can be followed. This is a repetition. And after this, what we have to do is, once the rhizomes are ready, we have to, it will be like, it is slightly pale brown in color. The appearance will not be there. There will be some roots and other things, because initially we will, though we remove roots and other things, there are always chances there, because it is done manually. Humans are doing that. There are always some other external things like roots and other things present, and the surface also will not be impressive. And to get the market acceptance, we have another process called polishing. So this is the physical process, and this process is done to improve the appearance of turmeric. And for this, we have mechanical device called polisher. And this polisher, this is a smaller capacity, what we have at ISR, because it is a region, it is a research center. So we don't have a very big, 500 kg, 1000 kg capacity polishers we don't have. This capacity of this polisher is about 150 kg, and up to 5 HP motor, 2 HP motor. It is a 2 HP motor which is used here. We load the
मॅडम डिस्कनेक्ट झाल्यात वाटतं.
हो हो हो.
बाहेर आहे. तो म्हणे तुम्हाला ऑनलाईन पैसे करतो गुगल पे
आले नाही. सर आवाज मॅडम कनेक्ट नाहीत का? शेळके सर.
हेलो हेलो.
हाँ मैडम का आवाज येत नाही.
हाँ मैडम डिस्कनेक्ट हो गई है. एक मिनट.
हाँ, थोड़ी राह देखते हैं उनकी, वो कनेक्ट हो जाएंगे. तोपर्यंत कुठे साहेब, मला असं वाटतं की मॅडमनी जी माहिती सांगितलेली आहे, हिंगोली जिल्ह्यामध्ये जवळपास या सर्वच बाबी आपण वापरतोय. मला असं वाटतं
हो
त्यांनी
वापरतो,
ते-
पण काही काही गोष्टी आहेत सर, याच्यात काही गोष्टी अशा आहेत की त्यांनी जे 50 किलोचं ते ड्रायर दाखवलेलं आहे,
हा हा हा
ते ते तशा प्रकारचे जर ड्रायर आपण वापरले थोडेसे तर बरं होईल त्याच्यात.
हो, मलाही असं वाटतं की सोलर ड्रायर जे आहे ते चांगलं उपयुक्त आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये कॉन्टॅमिनेशनची
कारण
शक्यता कमी आहे. त्याचप्रमाणे सोलर स्टीम जनरेशनचाही काही ठिकाणी विचार करता येईल. कारण आपल्याला आपल्या जिल्ह्यामध्ये तुम्हाला माहित असेल की 1 एकर हळद लावली तर 1 एकर कापूस लावतो शेतकरी आणि त्या कापसाच्या पराठ्या जाळण्यासाठी उपयोगात येतात. म्हणजे हिंगोली
बरोबर आहे.
जिल्ह्यातला कापूस हा हळदीच्या जळतनासाठी तयार होतो असं म्हणायला हरकत नाही. कारण लोक कापसासाठी नाही परंतु त्यासाठी करतात. तर
नाही,
मला असं वाटतं
बरोबर आहे.
इंधनाची बचत आणि विनाकारण कापसाचं पीक घेतात फक्त इंधनासाठी. त्याऐवजी
हो.
आपल्याला सोलर स्टीम जनरेशन सिस्टीमचाही थोड्याफार प्रमाणात विचार करता येईल. आणि ते जर कमर्शियलाइज झालं आणि त्याचं इकॉनॉमिक चांगलं फिट झालं, तर मला असं वाटतं इंधनाचाही फार मोठा खर्च शेतकऱ्यांचा कमी होऊ शकेल.
Hello.
हां, मॅडम यू कॅन
Yes,
कंटिन्यू.
sorry, sir. There was my charge had gone in the system.
ओके, ओके.
I
नो
will.
प्रॉब्लेम.
Please continue.
यू
Yes,
कॅन
sir.
कंटिन्यू.
Any doubts, sir? Till now, I will.
Please continue. Please let
Yeah.
us
You
continue
continue. We'll discuss at the end.
Yeah.
after we discuss.
Yeah. So this is a polisher, and the polisher will help us to remove the outer impurities. And in this process, there is always because we are drying the rhizomes in the open, the fine dust of mud and other things are on the surface. So necessarily it has to be removed, and polishing operation we have to necessarily do when it has to be powdered. So before powdering, like it is up to the traders, or it is up to the farmers to know how much of polishing is to be done. So the level of polishing we called as a degree of polish, and in certain places we tell it is highly polished or single polished and double polished. These are the terminologies they use. But then again, from region to region, all these practices may vary. Single polish, they try to maintain the surface is smooth, remove the slight because once you start removing, you can see in this picture the surface is rubbed and then it is scraped off, and you can see the surface comes out all of you in the form of dust and powder, and it becomes soft. So to some extent, about 4 to 5% of material is lost in this process. This is called as a single stage process polishing. In double stage, to get more yellow color, they still allow it to rotate, and then it is rubbed and the material is deeply removed. So about 9 to 10%, 8 to 9% of material is removed, and it is again collected separately. Of course, that should not be used for edible purpose because it contains fine dust particles in that. So all that what is polished and brought out, it goes for non-edible use. And the rhizomes are now single polished or double polished. These are terminologies, trade terminologies. Generally, we say polished turmeric. And if the degree of polish is more, they're calling it as double polished. So in this process, 5 to 9% of material is lost. And this is our Agmar grade specification for the quality of the whole turmeric. We have presently after 2005. This is Agmar grade specification. It is only for the Indian trade scenario for marketing, but this may not always hold good for international trading. So as per this, earlier we had many criteria like by different names it was being called, but now as per this Agmark grade designation, we have special and standards, 2 standards, and all these are moisture content up to 12% is permissible. But now if you go for Codex and other things, the moisture level, it has to be around first grade, it is 11%. For the second grade, they are saying 12 to 13%. So that grades the requirement of quality. We can, there are based on each standards, slight differences are there. And turmeric storage, now we have polished it, and the polishing level, it is to be minimum if it has to be stored for a longer time. And at the time of next use, when we are going for powdering or other, then you can go for further polishing. Otherwise, if you feel that it has to be stored, then you can go only for minimum level of polishing, so that the appearance is good and all the impurities, for surface impurities are removed. And moreover, the surface after drying, it will not be very soft and smooth. It will be shriveled and dry skin with rough appearance. And turmeric as such will not be impressed by people. No, the buyer will not be impressed by such kind of material. So just to give a physical appearance, we are doing the polishing, and it can be stored. So turmeric storages, we have to keep it in a good new gunny bags should be used, and it can be. So these are different things. Polythene line, if possible, can use. Otherwise, we'll not go for polythene liners. And about 65% RH. This is the storage conditions, rooms requirement. And beyond this, for dry materials, when we go for higher humidity, what happens is it will start absorbing moisture. The material is dried material. If we go for in regions like when monsoon seasons and other things, general tendency is any dried material will absorb moisture. So we have to be very careful that the room in which we store is well covered. It doesn't have much of cross ventilations and other things. And still, if we feel that the moisture is increasing in the material, then we have to go for dehumidifiers, especially when you are storing it in large godowns, large quantities. Then the check for moisture has to be done very regularly, both in the product, and you should also have the monitoring of the storage room where you're storing, because the chances of the next lot of problems are associated in storage. So this is a view of cold storage. I told like Erode, you all know, all our turmeric group will know the important sites where places where turmeric is grown, and the turmeric hub. So one such turmeric hub is Erode, is one where I have shown some of the pictures, and this is another hub of turmeric, Guntur. And in Guntur, we have a place like Dugirala. It's known for both turmeric and chilies. That also most of us will know, because our trade and other things, people take all our raw materials from these places for chilies and other turmeric. So this is well known. So in that region, we can see cold storages, plenty of cold storages. And this is especially for storing our rhizomes, dried rhizomes. It is stored in gunny bags in cold storages, and the temperature is around 5 degrees. And you can store this for a longer time. There are a number of storehouses. So many of the industries, they are hiring this, storing the producers in the storehouses, and as and when required, or when there is a requirement across the country, people come and take the material from such kind of places. And in these, the advantage of storage is the storage loss in the form of insect attack and other things is reduced to a greater extent, and quality is maintained. So in all these regions, many of the farmer trade organizations, or there are many cooperatives, those who are constructed. There are of course government-owned storehouses or warehouses. All these are available also. So this is a picture showing the quality profiling, and it shows for some of the varieties what is grown, what is available. you can see, dry recovery. On an average, we know once it is harvested and dried, your recovery rate. Recovery is how much dry turmeric you're going to get after drying a known quantity of fresh. On an average, it is about 20%. So dry recovery, generally it is about 20%. For certain varieties, it is moving up and down. Otherwise, it is dry recovery is 20%. And you can see the curcumin content. It is also very, curcumin is a pigment. It is a component which is giving yellow color to the turmeric. And of late now, the value of turmeric, now in certain places at least we can find that based on the curcumin, turmeric is valued for even pricing also. They are, especially this comes in the trade, not at the farmers level, but then if, because Hingoli, you have a GI and other things, we can task on such, you can take all these factors for quality improvement in getting a better price for your product. So curcumin content is one factor based on which price can be determined. Then of course, oil, oleoresin are the basic characters. And oil means it is distilled. It is a water distilled product. When your dried products after cutting, when it is distilled in water, the steam what comes out is cooled along with the oil present in the turmeric, and which gives smell. There is a typical aroma for turmeric, that smell along with the oil. Once on cooling, very little. So you can see, 3 to 7, based on the varieties, it is varying from 3 to 7%. And oleoresin is the extract. That is the concentrate of the turmeric. Whatever is present, including oil, you're using the solvent extraction and then separating the oleoresin. It is a thick, dark yellow concentrated viscous mass. And of course, there are industries which are extracting this oleoresin, and it is the oleoresin which we are using on a commercial scale in all the food industry. Of course, they dilute. We get 100% concentrate. That again, they bring to the required level by adding some emulsifiers and other things, and it is readily available in many of the factories like now plant lipids. India is now one of the leading exporters of liquid spice. So liquid spice means it is generally the oils and oleoresins, and it is the oleoresin which we generally do a lot of export, because it is a concentrate. It has both essential oil, that is the flavor giving compounds, and the pungent compounds what is present in the spice. So once all the extract is removed, the residue after that is only fiber, carbohydrate and carbohydrates, and that is discarded, and that goes as either a fuel for the boiler, or there are maybe some of the traders who are doing all some purchases and they use for some cattle. We cannot even use for cattle feed, because after that nothing will be there, because it is a solvent extraction process. Almost everything what is the concentrate, the nutritious thing what is present in the form of curcumin, all that will come into our extract. The rest is only the fibrous mass. So that can be separated. And some of the value added product, now we are coming into the, I've told about storage. Storage is a very important criteria, because during storage we face a lot of problems, and I've told we have to have a good warehouse storage. I've shown about the importance of cold storage facilities, which is being followed in Guntur. And now next stage is, now it is a commercial, it's a secondary processing stage where it has to go as a food to the people. So in that form it is mainly the powder. And even today, whatever be the value term, is the powder which is consumed to a greater extent. So most of our turmeric, what is being consumed is in the powder form, and powder itself is a value added product. We'll come to it if specifically. Then oil, essential oil. This oil means it is not the fat, it is the as volatile oil. And the next thing we have is the oleoresin. Oleoresin, I told it is a solvent extracted concentrate. And after that, what we have is the ultimate one, which is gaining importance right now for the pharmaceutical industry, is the curcumin. And curcumin is again separated from the oleoresin. The oleoresin is a viscous mass. From that, after washing with the known solvents, the active ingredient in that can be separated in the form of crystals. And those things, after separation, after repeated washing with solvents, what we get is a curcumin. And that is valued in the pharmaceutical industry. So this is again the quality profiling of turmeric. And now I can just show, we had been to an auction at Erode. This is I told no, there's a turmeric hub, and it's just for information, because it is kept in the slides what I have. I can also share. So these auction centers are privately owned, run by the government Department of Agriculture, and some of them are on the cooperative mode. And here you can see how actually in the areas when we had visited, we could see the turmeric which is stored even up to 14 years. So you can see the span to which turmeric is stored, and why they are storing. Many of them will ask. It is just to know. It is an expectation that we will get better price. And storage is not easy also, because you all know storage, the problems what we face, the problems of pest infestation. You can see the rhizomes are infected, holes are made, and it becomes powder once very quickly. So for that, again, we are using sulfose tablet. All this it is stored for several years. So then we have to add some of this sulfose tablets to prevent all the insect pests, which is attacking turmeric. So all in godowns, we can see all these are happening. And this is a privately owned, auction center. And this is how you can see, each variety of, whether this is because, Erode, so we have the Salem in Erode varieties. The people, they display all their materials for the auction, and the people, the clients, whoever are interested in purchase, can quote their rate and do the auction centers. So this is again a picture showing the processing unit for powdering. And this is a large scale processing plant, and capacity is 10 tons of turmeric is being handled in one day. And this is continuously operated. They are doing it throughout the day for almost 24 hours a day. In shifts, they are operating the plant. And at that time, maybe 4 or 5 years back, they were selling the turmeric powder at ₹75 per kg. This is a wholesale rate, but now I think it would have been a little more higher. And this is after polishing, cleaning, they are doing even because there are stones and other things, so it is once it goes for a food line, we have to remove all this after initial cleaning, and then it can go for powdering. And after powder, it is sieved, and the powders are bagged. And in this process, we can get because it becomes hot, the mill becomes hot, they're collecting oil also, because of the heat generated. The volatile oils from the turmeric is getting evaporated. It is naturally condensed, and they're collecting it as oil. And it is bagged. After powdering, it is bagged, and it is stored for further value addition. And number of bigger industries, which of repute, they are collecting from this particular. The number of such units are there, but we happen to be at one unit, and many of the leading clients are purchasing turmeric powder from this unit. So we can again see the, this is the physical cleaning of the turmeric. And all these are very tedious, labor operated, labor required operation, because we have seen our primary processing, it is being done in the field. So once they're collecting lot of stones, big stones are available, it has to be removed. So this particular unit, they are employing labor for cleaning in the sense for removing stones and other things. They are using all kind of sieves, and this is a sieve for the sieve quantity, number of stones which is being separated, and this is another unit. So there, why I have told this is, now a lot of labor is being involved for just after dried material, which is in bags, before it is powdered. We can see the level of impurities and the stones. They're high level of contaminant, because once these stones and other things are powdered, it will be in the powder, and it is not a pleasant one. And once we test the quality, you can see that the silica content, many things will be very high. So to reduce all that, it is a must that stone should not be by any chance, it should not come into the food product. So it has to be removed. And here I can tell there is a farmer producer company, and maybe in 2016 or 17, farmer producer company which was involved in, which was formed for turmeric processing and other things. And they have developed, because seeing the labor involved for cleaning, so they felt there is a first-hand requirement for a mechanical large-scale grading unit, so that all kind of, if at all there is a the mother rhizomes and all that, or a finger too small, and rhizomes of different sizes, even if it has to be stored, it is essential. So they have fabricated with the help of some industry, and the capacity of that is about 20 tons per day. And they have graded the finger rhizomes into 3 grades. So this is the earlier one, what I showed was the full view. Now you can see the material is loaded here, and then it is lifted using a bucket elevator, and then it comes to the first zone where aspiration means sucking of lighter impurities like roots, dust and other things. And after aspiration, it moves to the sieving. There is a long chamber. Here it is sieved, and based on the size, the material will fall, and at each outlet there are 1, 2 and 3 outlet, and based on the size of that outlet, here this grade 2 outlet, the size of the hole, it's not hole, it is a rectangular opening of size 28 by 12 mm, and we have 3 outlets, each sieved materials. This is a grade 1, bigger one, which is always at that last end. That is, we get turmeric of size 30 by 15 mm, and we can, in this particular farmer producer organization, they are the farmers, they can bring their lot graded, and the grade can be packed separately and labeled. And mother rhizomes, their primary rhizomes are being graded into 3, then mother rhizomes are graded into 2, and the entire lot they are making into 5 different grades, and then packing it in bags, and they're using the polyethylene bags and then storing. And when we store, again we have to put the wooden what is that, the platforms to keep the bags, and the bags are stored one above the other in a neat and hygienic environment. And of course fumigation is required, and in each stack, it is a farmer stack, and each stack they have clearly labeled grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 of finger rhizomes, grade 1 and grade 2 of mother rhizomes. So they are calling it as virally, and Gatta. Gatta is a mother rhizome. Virali is finger rhizomes. Virali is, in that language, it is the finger. So this is the labels provided, and they pay monthly charges, and it is being stored. And here why I highlighted is the price, the bold rhizomes, V1, the first grade. Again, it is an open auction. It could fetch a higher price of there is a gradation in price also. 6,889. Then again, based on the grade size, the price is varying, and this was the importance of that grading. Instead of selling it as a single grade, this particular farm FPO graded, because they are handling in several tons, around 50,000 to 60,000 tons are being handled. So to get the better price, they have done all this. And that is the market rate. That particular day when we visited, what is the market price I have shown. Over and above, they were getting 700 for the first grade. They were getting 600 to 700 rupees higher for the first grade, and proportionately it was getting reduced. So this is a brief about what is happening at different places. Now we do have a little bit, now I've spoken for some time, little bit of facilities what we have at ICR ISR. I can share, maybe around 7 to 8 slides are remaining. And we do have a business incubation facility at Indian Institute of Spices Research here. This was set up in 2014. And it was with ICR funding, we could establish this facility. Here we have 3 units in this facility. One is for black pepper. We are doing cleaning and grading. And the other one is for spice powdering. And the third one is for white pepper production. So these are the 3 facilities we have for incubation here. Just quickly running it. Pepper may not be of importance. Set of machineries what we have. Pepper, this is for white pepper. White pepper is again pepper which is white in color after removal of the outer skin. Now this curry powder unit is where our turmeric is having an important role. And here we have this incubation facility. Why I'm telling us here, this is a facility which is created so that any startup entrepreneurs, if they have a thought that they have to enter into a business, they need not invest. They can utilize these facilities which are available. And this is with the complete license and whatever is required for production. We have the complete licenses taken. So the farmer or a group, generally it is a group or they come, and they should also have, if they have the thought of becoming into an entrepreneur, they should also take the license, firm registration and all that. With all that basic requirements, if they come, they can utilize this facility at a nominal cost, and then they can start making into powders and blends. So for blending, whatever the machineries we need, roasters and other things, we have here. After washing, cleaning, drying, we can use all this facility, pulverizer, and we can blend. Knowledge of blending is also required, like to get a specific taste for the powder. So the blending ratios can be optimized. We can help to some extent. Otherwise, it is all region specific. It can be easily worked out. It doesn't require much. It is a traditional knowledge. And then after that, a blender for blending number of spices, and a sifter for uniform size material. Then packaging. We have the facility, sealing and packaging, and they can take the product in their brand name. This is the inside view of the curry powder production unit. And this, of course, white pepper production what we have. This is our solar dryer, where the materials, whatever is required for secondary processing, can be dried after washing. Dried material we wash once again for secondary processing. And for that, drying should be in an enclosed environment. And for that, we can use such kind of solar dryers. And we have hand-holded number of entrepreneurs. These are some of the firms who have entered into MOU with us, and they have started their own products. And even Camco from Mangalore, it is a cocoa-based, chocolate-based firm. They are using our white pepper production unit for the pepper what is collected from Kerala. And it is a gender-friendly unit we have, and the women themselves can operate. And our first firm who was incubated is a self-help group containing about 522 women self-help group organizations. Some 2 or 3 groups were involved in this curry powder. After we set those group were from that 522, 2 or 3 groups were involved, and they have utilized this facility. They was basically a coconut farmer producer organization. Then they started entering into spices and diversified their products from coconut. There were about 30 coconut products which were they are doing business. Now they have diversified. They have initially started with turmeric powder, chili powder, and coriander powder, and they have launched into the market. And apart from this, there are several other incubatees also who were making garam masala blends, then vegetable biryani, pulao, then whatever blends we want, we can do. It is only the combinations what is required. And apart from that, this is in our main campus. We do have a facility for nutmeg and ginger. And here also why I'm showing this is we have unit for, I've told in between, for drying, turmeric can be sliced. So when we are doing for slicing, then it is essential that it has to be mechanically washed. So we do have a facility here for mechanical washing of ginger. Then we have a mechanical slicer also, so that once you fit in, load it into this machine, it can be sliced and the chips can be taken and then dried in the mechanical dryer. This is an electrical operated or in a solar tunnel dryer, and we can get fine chips. This fine chips can directly go for pulverizing. So that is another line of turmeric action. But then the storage, you cannot store it for a long time. Because we are not doing the cooking, curing is not done. It is only mechanical slicing, mechanical drying, and then powdering. So in this unit, we have a smaller facility. We do have that facility for mechanical slicing, mechanical drying, and then a smaller unit for powdering also. So number of firms have come into, they have launched their own products. These are number of firms. And here what we give is our support. Our manufacturing license is given to the entrepreneurs who are using this facility, and they can also use our logo of ICAR and Indian Institute of Spices Research and our FSSI number also. This is very important. And the party also should have their license for marketing, and for utilizing this facility, they should also have their food standards and safety authority, SFSS, it is called FSSI number, which will be printed in the labels. So in all these labels, we are giving an additional label claim of ours. And these are of course not related to turmeric, but again done in the facilities, and then value added products which are being done in the facilities. And the last slide, this is what I want to show here. This is a recently commercialized facility product where turmeric is being used for in milk. And Milma, this is a cooperative milk society in Kerala, and they have taken the technology from us, and now Milma has launched this product, 3 products. One is the golden milk in cans, then golden mix, it is in the powder form, and then it is the buttermilk in which turmeric, it is not that it is the direct turmeric. Here we are using the soluble extracts of turmeric for preparation. Now, of course, this is commercialized technology, and we have the procedures for how the soluble extracts can be taken and then can be added to these products. And these 3 products are recently launched, and it is again, it is it has won the heart of people, especially this golden milk powder. It is widely accepted, and all these, even this all maybe 2 weeks back, this buttermilk and other things launched, but still the moment is very good. But of course, we'll have to wait and see for in the near future. So this is in brief about various activities, what on value addition, what we can do, and what facilities, what ISR have, and what we can extend to the people. And apart, maybe smaller, better things, if to the knowledge of people, if it is available, you can tell us, and to what support, in what way they want, we can extend our support. So this much is what I have right now to share with the participants. Now I think we can have a few questions, and let me see how much I'll be able to satisfy our viewers.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, sir.
You have nicely elaborated different aspects of turmeric, since harvesting to processing and making a golden milk and golden mix out of it. So I think most of the activities you have elaborated are new to us.
Okay.
Even the harvesting by tractor is not being used in our district. Proper implements are not available. And there is a scope of collaborating with ISSR for this tractor operated turmeric harvester. Power tillers are not much popular in our area because of the black cotton soil that needs more energy. So I think tractor operated machines can be incorporated there.
Okay, sir.
You have elaborated the taste of cooking of this turmeric rhizome. That is also to be transferred to farmers, because that piercing for finger rhizome and cutting for the that bigger mother rhizome, that technology is increasing the shelf life of the product. This point needs to be taken to the farmers. That is very important, that I could also know out of this seminar. And there is a scope of large scale steam generation units by use of solar energy. Because in our area, energy is a problem, and it is mostly farmers what are doing, they are cultivating 1 acre of cotton for 1 acre of turmeric, because the stalks of cotton they are using as a fuel.
Yeah.
And
Fuel.
they are taking cotton as a fuel crop instead
Yeah.
of taking for fiber crop.
Yeah.
So I feel that this technology can be demonstrated, and some of the farmers can slowly take up it, or the farmer producer companies can take up this.
The only thing is the investments, sir.
Investment it is there.
Very
But
huge.
yes, but there are many schemes for farmer producer companies, and I think once it is demonstrated, slowly it can be taken up by different people.
Madam, my request is don't worry about the money. What is more important is the technology, because this farmer producer is a company, is not a cooperative, it's a company.
Yes.
So please don't say cost, always say benefit.
Yeah, that is benefit.
We are more interested in benefit now.
Yeah, true.
In our district, we have developed 14 farmer producer companies since 2014. And I just told you that one of the companies have exported turmeric rhizomes to Bangladesh, and to the tune of more than 1.5 crores. And such type of FPOs are being developed in our area.
Yeah.
And turmeric hub for the entire Maharashtra, that will be the Hingoli district. And Spices Board is also thinking of giving one office in Hingoli district for this crop. So value added products, you have told that oil, oleoresins and curcumin. We don't know its project viability because many FPOs are thinking of commercializing these activities, but proper technology and technological support is not there. We have contacted CFTRI also. They have given us some consultancy and technologies, but the process is very slow and we could not take up that aspect. And curcumin production units have been started by a few farmers, 2 farmers they have started, but I think they are not being operated at break even or that.
Yeah,
they are
that is
going
the
in loss.
problem, sir. Like
Yes, yes.
now of late, like the curcumin's importance is so much spread. Now even a
Yes.
farmer who's having 1 acre of land is calling us, I want a curcumin plant. But the thing
Yes,
is,
yes.
curcumin plant cannot be done for 1 acre. It can be one in a very
District.
maybe in a state itself. Only then you will have the raw material. It is not
Yes,
for
yes.
1 acre or 2 acres. Or that we have to bring out from the mind of people.
Madam, basically we must go to the primary project, then secondary.
Then go
First,
for
let us concentrate on a primary scale.
That's what. We will not think of curcumin right now at all. So that is my, from the knowledge what I have gained. Of course, it can be done, but at a later stage.
Definitely. That thing, we got it clear that curcumin area is not for us. But this turmeric grading units, you have told that I think they are useful. Even commercial custom hiring services for turmeric grading can be implemented by FPOs. This aspect, I also feel that it is very important.
So that is why I gave an example of a farmer producer organization, what we have visited. So at least some of the viewers are there, and if they are facing such kind of problem, you may get some ideas, you can maybe better ideas also.
Madam, among the organizer, we have one more organizer who is going to say something in Hindi. Because he is going to float a FPO or a PC, farmer producer company. So, over to Mr. Kute, please explain about your project.
Yes, please, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
बोला.
बोलो sir.
Hindi में.
No problem, sir. I can understand. If I don't understand, I'll ask you.
Hindi.
Yes, I can understand.
Sir, thank you, madam. Actually, हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर बहुत सारा ऐसा टर्मरिक का प्रोसेसिंग का काम करते हैं, लेकिन थोड़ा टेक्निकल कम है। हमारे यहाँ डिस्ट्रिक्ट जितना भी, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ जो प्रॉपरली गाइड्स होना चाहिए, हमने स्पाइसेस बोर्ड के साथ 2-4 मीटिंग ट्रेनिंग भी किए हैं। तक हमें सपोर्ट नहीं मिला है। क्योंकि आपके तरफ से, स्पाइसेस बोर्ड की तरफ से हमारे हिंगोली जिले के अंदर के शेड़के सर और हमने भी खुद हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट के अंदर भी हमने आपके ट्रेनिंग अरेंज करके हमने फार्मर लोगों को बहुत सारा ट्रेनिंग देने का सोचा था, लेकिन क्या प्रॉब्लम हो गया पता नहीं। वो हिसाब से हमें कुछ डायरेक्शन नहीं मिला है। फिर भी सेवा ट्रस्ट की तरफ से हमारा फार्मर का डेवलपमेंट का काम करते हैं। हम हमारे शेड़के सर है, क्योंकि हिंगोली डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर जितना भी हम काम कर रहे हैं वो हमें लगता है हमारा बहुत कम काम है, क्योंकि इतना सारा टर्मरिक का प्रोसेस यहाँ ये उत्पादन होता है, क्योंकि उत्पाद ज्यादा होने की वजह से वो फार्मर लोगों को मार्केटिंग का, हमारे यहाँ मार्केटिंग का बहुत प्रॉब्लम है।
So one thing you can do, sir, now the conditions are improving, but once we have a favorable condition, when the moment there will not be any restriction, you can, at least few persons, in this company who are interested in or setting up a company can visit our center, maybe in the month of February or maybe March first week also, because it is at that time here we will have turmeric for all this curing. We will be doing curing operations. So I can demonstrate once you come. We have given a lot of demonstration to people, and they all, once they come, visit, see all this and give us once they see it physically, they will understand that it is a little more simpler. No, they can execute. And once you start buying, I can give you the contact numbers. You can buy 1 or 2 pieces, maybe even in Maharashtra, Sangli and other places. They also have number of equipments there. I can give some of the contacts. You please buy initially 1 or 2 equipments and then start the process. Then I think you can do in a better way than right now what you are telling. No difficulties. I know the technical because I have personally been with people who have faced these technical difficulties. I'm telling from past 10 or 11 years I am with such kind of people. But once you undergo a training stepwise, it is a slow process. Maybe in a year or 2 you can buy the next. Today I can see they are all self-standing. They are standing on their own legs, and they are doing lot of things in a better way. In UP also there was a farmer who was with us, who spent some 3-4 days with us, learned everything, and after going there they implemented. And then they were constantly over this videos and other thing, asking for queries and other things. Of course, first year it went on like that. From second year onwards, now if I see that UP farmer, no, he's very happy. He's just doing on his own, and now he has started his own brand, organic turmeric, and he's telling that he is giving now even to Northeast and other things. So that is.
Madam,
Yeah.
my submission is now let us focus on 2 things.
Yeah.
In extension, seeing is believing.
Yeah, that is what.
Okay. Second is, this is a startup project.
Yeah.
So for a startup project, what you require is a knowledge and skill.
Yes.
Now everybody is after attitude, but there is a lack of knowledge and skill.
Yeah.
So the skill development can be done only by visiting your unit.
Yes.
Discussing in person. Take it in a project mode.
Yeah.
Because unless you talk on a project mode, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I am talking to the engineering. Engineering is a project.
Yeah.
And Purushottam is a project man. Okay.
Yeah.
So for a FPC Purushottam, what you need to do is plan somewhere in February, March.
Yeah.
Take an appointment.
Yeah.
Go to Calicut. Very simple. Go to Mumbai, Calicut flight is there.
Yes.
Not a problem. Okay. And second thing is very, very important is take it as a project mode, a small scale project mode by which you can set up a small unit and can be a model with the support of KVK.
Okay.
Thank you, madam, for your enough time.
Yeah.
Purushottam, you can express vote of thanks.
Yes, sir.
Purushottam sir, you can write a formal letter to our director. Shalke sir can also help them if they are unable to make a draft letter and send to the institute.
Madam, I am there.
Yes, sir. Uday Kumar, yes, Udyan Singh, sir. You can help them.
I mean, horticulture is 52 years. Dr. Sharma was my friend.
Okay. Yes, sir. I just forgot.
So I know
you can help them. Yeah, you can help them in
Thanks,
sending. Let it be send us an official letter. By tomorrow itself, you can send us. No, but once we get an official permission, you can maybe 2 or 3 person. If not into, because always when you're in a group, you need a moral support. That is what I always say for people when they are venturing in. Here it requires, when you are entering into a business, it is a support, that is a psychological feel of security which will help. In otherwise, you will face lot of hurdles. Lot of hurdles means every step is a hurdle. So there you will want. So you can, whoever is your confident associates, you want number, because every stage with the market, next stage, processing is easy. From the next, the ultimate stage is the marketing side. The marketing side is a difficult one. So there also you may face, of course, now Hingoli is having a name of its own. Probably, I think there will not be much of difficulties, and with all these learned members in the team, you can come, maybe whoever is associated with you, some 4 or 5, or maybe in a group. I'm not telling constraint. You can come. You can make an appointment with us. You can send us an official letter to the director, like how you had previously approached us. The similar way you do us, sir, we can extend our support completely, and we will help you out in all the missionary. We can tell you the procedures you follow, but where the things are available and how it should be done. Whether it is tractor operated, better than us, we have another institute, Central Institute of Agriculture Engineering, where all the tractor operated machineries, they can tell in that region who is the supplier, so that you need not take from south, wherever nearby who are the suppliers, they will help you. So I can get you associated with those institutes also, Central Institute of Agriculture Engineering, Coimbatore Center or Bhopal Center, whoever it is, we can, and our part, processing and other things, the machineries can be transported to your place, all that we can do it from our side. So please, sir, proceed.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, sir.
सर काही प्रॉब्लेम आहेत?
व्होट ऑफ थँक्स द्या, व्होट ऑफ थँक्स द्या.
धन्यवाद अदा करा तुम्ही आता.
डॉक्टर जयश्री मैडम, आपने हमें इतना सारा टाइम दिया है, क्योंकि इतने समय से हम सुन रहे हैं, आपका इतना बड़ा काम भी है, और आपने जितना काम किया है उसके बावजूद हमें इसी तरह का आप मार्गदर्शन करते रहेंगे, ये हम ये करते हैं, हम आपके तरफ से आशा करते हैं, और हमें और शेळके सर को, हम दोनों लोगों को, हमें आपके यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर हम आके आपके पास से कुछ सीखना चाहेंगे. और आज आपने जो टाइम दिया है, इसके लिए मैं आपका शुक्रगुजार हूँ. आपके तरफ से जो आपने जो भी हमें मार्गदर्शन किया है, और श्री कुलकर्णी सर भी आज प्रेजेंट हुए हैं, उनका भी मैं आज उन्होंने भी पूरा लेक्चर होने तक पूरा, क्योंकि वो हमें प्रमोट करने वाले उन्होंने ही है, इसीलिए उनका भी धन्यवाद करता हूँ. और किसान दीक्षा अभियान के जो मैडम है, उनका भी मैं धन्यवाद करता हूँ. थैंक यू सर.
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you, sir. So this is my contact. They have already projected it. You can contact, send an email, and for all the official, you can send a formal letter to a director also, because some procedures. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.